Today, I'm going to talk about how desire is natural. Okay, desire is natural. And let's get started. Okay, I want to share a quote that really hits home, and that is, quote, your desire is the solution to your problem, end quote. Now, desire is a metaphysical, non physical response to what you want or what you are lacking. Neville Goddard shares in his book, in one of his books, I have a compilation of his books in audio and in a book, so I read it every day. And he says, it's natural for you to hunger when you're hungry. It's natural for you to thirst when you need water. It's natural for you to desire love when you don't have, love. It's okay to desire money when you don't have any money. So it's a natural response. Okay. And I have this today because my neighbors are bumping music and I don't want like background music to be on the video. Okay. So if you're ready to learn and apply, stay. Okay. Because the only way you're gonna get results is if you apply daily. I've been applying this shit for about 6 years now. Since 2019. Okay, and we've been doing manifestation all our lives. I recognize the times that I've done it now as I was looking through my past memories for 2016. 2016, I was at UCLA. I still didn't know this stuff. I didn't know stuff about gratitude and positive frequencies and vibration and imagination and thoughts and vision boards, things like that. I didn't know this stuff, and I would still imagine. Um, okay, for example, let's get right into it. Um, I was overweight and I was depressed. I was sad, mostly sad because I was overweight. And number two, my friend had got kicked out. Okay, they kicked him out of UCLA because supposedly he had taken advantage of a girl while she was under the influence of alcohol. So they said that he R'd her, with the R, RAPE, and uh D. So that happened, and it was just a horrible experience. And I desired happiness. I desired to be in shape. And that I remember I looked at myself in the mirror the following day because I had somebody had taken a photo of me and I had a muscle shirt on. And I thought I was looking good, because I had a Pachuco hat on, had my muscle shirt on, and my slacks. I had slacks on. I'm pretty sure I had dress shoes on. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like Pachuco or Zoot Suiter. Check out Zoot Suiter. I'm like, I'm a Zoot Suiter. Hell yeah. And I think it must have been like Halloween or it was just a regular party. Because on Halloween, I think I would have done that. The thing is that I saw myself and I was not happy. I was kind of disgusted. I'm like, no, I can do better. I can be better. And so I looked at myself in the mirror the next day and I said, I swear to God, I'm going to get in shape. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I swear to God, I'm going to get in shape. You know. And in the back of my head is like, and I'm going to be happy. I'm going to be happy. So I'm going to start doing things that I want to do because I was a political activist. I was involved in a lot of groups, so I was involved in a lot of giving back. But I gave back so much that I really didn't focus on my health and stuff like that. And I like what Wes Watson says in his book Non-Negotiable. He says when you self-validate yourself, you're giving from a full cup. So when you leave your home, you leave your space wherever you're at, and then you enter somewhere, you're coming in with a full cup. And you do that through self validation, through gratitude, through exercise, through beating the sun up. Okay. And you do this daily. There's not just one thing that you can do, there's multiple things you can do. I think his name is Charlie. I forget he has a little name too. But he's like famous. He's not that famous because I don't even know his full name and like his thing or whatnot. But he came out in podcast with Eliotar, the rock star, Eliotar the rock star. He's cool. I used to watch him a lot back then, and he interviews a lot of famous people. And Charlie says he just drink a cup of coffee. And I have a cup of coffee right here. He says, I'll drink a cup of coffee in the morning, and I'm like, yes, I'm on a winning streak. I'm on a winning streak. And now, positive internal state. Gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. For me, gratitude hits like when I do it like 20 times. Thank you, 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 thank you for this moment. Thank you for this coffee. Positive internal state. All right. And I love this example that Wes Watson shared in his book. And that is, he's like, there's two people, right? They're both dishwashers, washing dishes. One complains that he's washing dishes and just everything sucks. And there's another one that is grateful to be washing dishes, is grateful to be in the moment, is grateful to earn whatever money that they're getting from that place. Who do you think is gonna be more successful in life? The complainer, the low vibe, or the person who's grateful, positive vibe? Who? And then you start reading quotes and things like that, and you start realizing that with positive thoughts, positive feelings, positive actions, you get positive results. If you have negative thoughts, negative feelings, and you're therefore taking negative actions, you're gonna get negative results. That's just the way it is. Okay. It's not rocket science. All right. And so the moment I had made the decision that I said, I swear to God, I'm going to get in shape and be happy, I started doing things for me. I started going to the gym. I had full access to the gym. I was there at UCLA for like 8 years. I only went to the gym like the second half. First half just fucking focusing on classes and getting good grades and the political activism, and then the groups, the student groups, and yeah. So I started doing that, and maybe missing one or two club meetings. I don't think I was. I don't. I wasn't a leader by like towards the end. I wasn't a leader, so I was just a member of like Mecha. I don't think they call it Mecha anymore. They changed it to like Latino group. Um, and I started seeing myself in my imagination. The moment I said that, when I was looking at myself in the mirror, when I was looking at myself in the mirror, I started seeing the vision of my body in shape. And in imagination, I saw another mirror because my body was physically looking at a mirror. But I went in imagination and I also saw my body. And this body, the spiritual body, the non physical body, the real body, I would say, was in shape. Beautiful, big pecs like Arnold. And I started thinking about Arnold and how he's a bodybuilder. And it's just like random information that I have gotten, or maybe I never knew about it. But I knew he was in shape. That's for sure I know. But I started thinking about Arnold, bodybuilding, study Arnold, and then I went to Arnold. How did Arnold build muscle? And he's like, he was a bodybuilder. I looked up on Google, and I started getting all this information, and that's crazy because my UCLA undergraduate crush was also getting in shape at this time. It's crazy, and I shared a bunch of information that I was studying, that I was researching with her, like my vitamins and like supplements and things like that, all kinds of stuff. I started researching and finding out, and I shared it with her. And what happened was, and then I just knew I was gonna get it. I made a commitment that I was gonna do it, and I got so in shape. I saw some of the pictures from 2016, and I was had abs, I had a six pack, and I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy about it because I wanted to look like these guys who were going in competitions who were super shredded. I'm like, I'm not shredded enough. I'm not shredded enough. I wasn't happy, and I was so like, I judged myself based off that comparison, and I didn't share those nice photos with my friends and family because I was too worried. But I was at a different level of consciousness back then. I was at a different level. Uh, but I was using imagination. If I didn't have the image, and if I didn't have the committed decision to do it, I wouldn't have done it. So I made the committed decision. Then I saw the vision coming. Okay. So every time you make a committed decision, you go into a new timeline. You go into a new timeline, and it's just by giving yourself, deciding for yourself things that you want, things that you're gonna get. Like something that I told myself was recently was that I'm worthy of love. I created an affirmation. How do I feel now that I'm worthy of love and the best treatment? And I've been feeling that. Okay. And I felt the new timeline. Like I felt the shift. I'm like, whoa. Like, yeah, this is different. This is different, because I know I'm worthy of everything that I desire. That's true love, being worthy of everything that you desire. Everything just becomes true love. Wherever, whatever level you're at, that's true love for you. That's true love for you. Because back then, I rose into this girl, the one that I sent all this information, all this research that I was doing. To me, that was true love. She's my true love. So everything's true to you. Everything's true to you. But there's levels to this. It just goes higher and higher and higher and higher, just like the gym. First you do a like um, knee push up, then a regular push up. Then you can do a pull up. Then you do a muscle up, which is like a pull up and a push up and one in one, or you can do a handstand push up. And so there's levels to this, meaning the love that you feel can get better, the money that you have could get better, and you can have more. The fitness and the health and the presence and the groundedness in your body could get better. The peace in your body can get better. Happiness could get even higher. The higher your frequency could get even higher. Okay. Um, I want to share a few more quotes. The state of the answer, you get these quotes because they're very, very powerful, and they talk about how desire is a natural thing and is linked to how to manifest. Okay. Here, quote: You must accept without reservation the fact that by possessing, feeling a thing in consciousness, you have commanded the reality that causes it to come into existence in concrete form. I'm going to repeat it again. Quote: You must accept without reservation the fact that by possessing a feeling, a thing in consciousness, you have commanded the reality that causes it to come into existence in concrete form. End quote. Now I'm going to say it again. Okay. You must accept without reservation the fact that by possessing, feeling a thing in consciousness, you have commanded the reality that causes it to come into existence in concrete form. So the reality is the inside, like I said, the real you, the spiritual you, the the non-physical you is what brings it into form. Just like when I was seeing my non-physical self, my spiritual self in the mirror after I had committed. First I committed, but I swear to God I'm gonna do it, and then I started seeing the pictures, start getting the hunches into my mind, into my logical mind, and feeling. Um, that was what caused it to happen. All right, that's what it's saying. That's what Neville Goddard is saying there. Your consciousness, your state of being, when you assume that state of being, I am that, and you're feeling it, you're gonna get it. So that's the reality that creates the outer concrete reality, the concrete form. You must accept this. You must understand this and accept this so that you can start getting everything. But when I manifested my body, getting ripped and getting really in really top shape, or just like low body fat, kind of bodybuilder type of status, bodybuilder type of status. I didn't know this. I didn't know what I was doing. I was unconsciously doing it. You don't have to get so frustrated in life to get to that point. Because the times that I manifested things that were like just out of like, that just blew my mind, that were out of this world because they weren't physical, literally out of this world, it was within, was when I was frustrated and just over with it, like done. Okay. That's how that happens. And when I did understand this stuff already was when I got my dating coach. I was like, I'm done. I'm gonna have an amazing sex life. I'm gonna have an amazing sex life. And so right now I'm talking to maybe like 10 women, beautiful, all beautiful. Some hang out with me, some not. Some I've got intimate with right away. Some I haven't. But the feeling is there. You can tell the feeling is mutual, and it's just a process. This is a process. It's like learning to play the piano, or I mean the guitar. I have a guitar. At first first you're learning the strings, and then you get better. Same thing with the woman. First you can get to know her, you get better. But I digress. And then you seal the deal, and then you move on to from just talking to like dating, and then dating exclusively if that's what you want. You know, family, kids, helping them. Helping the community. It just evolves. It gets better. I'm telling you, life just gets better and better and better. And so when he told me this stuff, now he's teaching like manifesting. He's teaching manifesting now. And at that time, he didn't know what he was doing, like in terms of manifesting. He just knew that, like, you need to believe this and this and that. Like, for example, he said, you need to believe that women like men. You need to believe that. You need to believe that women love sex. Because when you offer her to come to your apartment, you know that she likes you. You know that she likes sex, Um, other things like it's a win-win when you go up to women. Like you have to believe that women like to talk to men. You know, it's okay to talk to women. It's okay to go up to a person and talk to them. A lot of like men don't approach because they think it's weird for some reason. Do you think it's weird to go talk to the mailman? Do you think it's weird to go talk to um, the old man that's walking by you as you're strolling on the park? All right, taking a stroll at the park. You see an old man. You think it's weird if you say good morning? Same thing with the beautiful woman. If you're a man, you're just, hey, good morning, how's it going? That's it. That's all it is. And she smiles at you and says, hey, good morning. It's like, hey, what's your name? I really like your vibe, or I really like your, I think you're really pretty. If you can say whatever you want, you know, whatever you want. Yeah, and just whatever. If a girl likes you, she likes you. You can say whatever you want. A girl's gonna like you. Okay. Um, I like to be a more on the mysterious side. If I like a girl, I don't tell her she's beautiful. I don't tell her that I like her. I just play around with it. I just play, flirt. That's how I like to do it. Because it just makes more sense. Like when somebody really likes you and like it's kind of too like, ugh, like just relax. Like if a girl told me, hey, you're so handsome, come here. I'm just like, oh shit, like kind of like just like give me some space. Give me some space. Um, and that has happened. Like girls like grab my beard and they're just like, "Come here!" It's just grabbing me. I'm like, ah, some more like just like the playful, like some more playful. Um, but everybody's different. Some people like to like that, and just gotta read the person. Read the person. All right, but so I was adopting his ideas. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put these on affirmations. I'm gonna repeat them. I'm gonna see them every single day. I'm gonna read them every day. Um, and things like that. I'm going to do that. I do that with my audio. I'm gonna start listening to again. I have a not a bad habit, but it's a good habit to have to record your affirmations and your beliefs and then listen to them. Like, I have like my whole house is basically a vision board. Look, I have a 488. I have these tattoos. I love tattoos. Um, and I have quotes on top. Maintain the goose. Discipline yourself or be disciplined. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Rules that garner self-respect are non-negotiable. A life lived for others is a life truly worth living. See, I put those together. What I did there. You see what I did? You got to fill yourself up, then go give. Okay. And you got to know how to fill yourself up because if you just go give, yeah, it's good for a moment. I was good for a long time until I finally crashed because you can give and give and give and it feels good to give. To be part, like right now I'm giving. I'm making this YouTube video so I can help you be in a positive frequency and manifest. So before I even got here, my frequency has been up and I've been riffing off my affirmations at the certain times that I do them. I do them once or twice a day. It takes about 5 minutes, not that long. And yeah, so I'll put those together. And repetition creates belief. Audios, remember, repetition, repetition. The journey is better than the end. It is done unto you as you believe. If you do the work, nothing will stop you. And when I talk about the work, I'm talking about the mental work, the interaction. So I could change that. If you do the inner work, I'm gonna change it. If you do the inner action, if you do the inner action, nothing will stop you. I'm gonna go change that shit. It's the interaction. It's the inside, the spiritual being. Whoa! It is a spiritual being. My former dating coach who's now teaching manifestation. He said, "Be a human being, not a human doing. Are you a human being? Being is whatever it is your desire is. You know, are you being the desired fulfilled, or are you trying? You're doing, because trying and doing means you're not it. Like if I wanted, on the last video, I talked about a shirt. Like if I have a shirt, if I'm being a person who has a shirt, right? If I'm being a person who has a shirt, let's pretend I don't have a shirt on, right? I'm being a person who has a shirt. I'm like, I have a shirt. I'm not saying, where's my shirt at? Where's my shirt at? Where's my shirt at? Where's my shirt at? Where's my shirt? Oh, I wish I could get this shirt. Oh, I wonder what the shirt is doing right now. No, you are being. First is the inside. And then just flow with whatever comes to mind. Because it's going to come through here. It's going to flow through you like, oh, I should do this. For example, I had a hunch. This is how hunches work. Okay? Everything's happening for you. First, tell yourself everything's happening for you. That's an assumption. Everything's happening for me. Um, and then you'll be free. You'll be free because when those hunches come and you don't do them, you kind of get haunted. So let's do one. Oh shit, my arm. And then some. And then we're gonna do after that. We're gonna do um the following things. So stay to the end. I'm gonna talk about um bridge of incidences. So a hunch is also a bridge of incidents when you reflect. Okay. Um, but a bridge of I want to go a bridge of incidents when it comes to you. Okay. Come to you. All right. So there's this specific person that I'm being with already. Like I'm already with her, right? In spirit and internally, and my non-physical self is already with her, and I've been with her plenty of times. So when I think about it, when I think about her, I'm just like, oh, that's my girl. Okay. Despite what circumstances, that's my girl. Okay. And I had a hunch to message her. I'm like, oh, hey, message her. I'm like, oh, I don't have to message her right now. You know, I can message her later, and I'll still get with her. Physically, because it's now I'm going through the bridge of incidences. And if I don't, I resist it. She's still gonna come to me somehow, some way. It's inevitable. And so I waited and just relaxed and like went about my day, but it kept coming up, kept coming up, kept coming up. Like, and then the universe is so amazing because it knows what you like. So it came into my head, hey, go to this little spot where you can see the entire San Gabriel Valley. It's a beautiful place. It's like a little hike, and it's on like my inner subconscious intuitive voice. It's like invite her to go on a little hike at the top of the world. It's called the top of the world because you're like at the very top of a hill slash mountain, and you can see the entire Los Angeles County and the entire Orange County. And I was like, okay. And so I messaged her and I said, hey, are you available tonight? Are you free tonight? I said her name. Hey, her name, Fulana. Are you free tonight? And she wasn't. She was busy. All right, cool. That's how you gotta react. It's like even if circumstance is not showing you what you'd ideally want. Because ideally, my logical mind, like, yeah, gonna say yes. We're gonna hang out. She's gonna spend the night, whatever. And if it doesn't happen, then it's already done anyway. It's inevitable. So why are you gonna be sad, right? So that's how a hunch works. And then also last night I was um with my friend, and he was drinking. I don't know how much he was drinking, but he wanted to fight me. I'm like, hey man, you gotta get out of my apartment. Okay, yeah, you gotta get out. He was actually sitting right here, and I was probably like sitting right here next to him. This dude said he wanted to knock me out. So I'm like, hey bro, you gotta go, bro. So I got up and I, man, you gotta go. And he didn't even understand. He's like, what, really? I'm like, yeah, really. And so it was early. It was around like 10. The Laker game had just finished, so it was around 10. And I put my phone off DND. I usually have my phone on DND, but I said I messaged a few girls, a few baddies. I know if you want, if you will, a few baddies, and I'm like, somebody's gonna call me. I feel like somebody's gonna call me. Feel, see, that's the key. Feel. I'm like, yeah, somebody's gonna call me. I feel like somebody's gonna call me. So I'm brushing my teeth, and then someone calls me. Someone calls me. So I kind of that was kind of like a hunch for me to do because I wanted somebody to come over. Um, because my friend was gonna invite two girls over, and they weren't coming over, and I told him you're not saying the right stuff. I'm like, hey, just tell them you're. Because they didn't know who I was, so he's like, hey, I'm right here with my homie, and they're like, who's your homie? Who's your homie? And I told him, and he wasn't telling them who I was. He's like, it's just a homie. Come through. And they're like, who's the homie? They kept on saying it. So I'm like, hey, bro, tell them that I'm your relative, right? So I'm like, tell them I'm your cousin, and tell them my name. And he didn't ever did it. So I kind of told him off, and that's when he's like, hey man, I'm gonna knock you out. I'm like, bro, get out. But that's how that happened. And so I really wanted to hang out with some girls. And then I felt like, all right, somebody's gonna call me. I felt like, yeah, somebody's gonna call me. And so what I did, I opened up the avenues, acted as if it was already gonna happen. So if you're expecting somebody to come over to your house, what would you do, right? I like this way of using your faith because you start taking the action needed. Like, and it's something you want, so it's not even like hard work or like action. You got to take action. No, it's like so rhetorical, so easy. Um, you don't need I even you don't even need to ask. Let's say for example, my dad talked about this in how to do this in Mexico. He's like, yeah, well, you gotta have faith. So our faith when we're in Mexico, if it's a dry season, we start planting. We're like, no, it's gonna come. Of course, it's gonna come. And plus we've seen rain happen every year, especially in LA. It happens. It's not much, but it does. So why not just start planting it? You don't have to expect. You know, you don't have to see some gray clouds or anything. You don't have to see the text message from the person. You don't have to see the client DMing you or coming into your funnel. You don't have to see that. Okay, to start taking action. Okay. um so yeah, so that's how that works. Maybe if you're gonna bring in different avenues of income, you can start opening up business accounts, things like that, for different businesses. And before the business even starts, or before you even have the product, things like that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you use hunches. Okay, now range of incidences, things come to you. So as being this new concept, right? Like for example, let's do the specific person concept. So now that I'm being with a specific person, I'm starting to attract new ideas of like self love concept. Like I love myself. These ideas start attracting your image starts attracting new ideas. Okay, that's the non physical things that you start attracting. I'm worthy of love, worthy of the best treatment, and you start seeing things that guide you there. For example, if you're when I had said, "Oh, I'm gonna have an amazing sex life," my dating coach DM me on Instagram that day. I think he DM me. I was like, "Whoa!" He's like, "Hey man, I heard you were trying to get better at dating women." I was like, "What the?" But I think I had to follow some people um who teach dating, and so he reached out to me. I was like, "Yeah, bro." Like he's like, "Hey, you want to get on a Zoom call to go over how I can help?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So I did that, and I got in this program. And I think I paid 3,500, 3,500, and then more because I had him as like a one-on-one coach right after that. I think I was just paying 500 a month following that, and so they come to you. These things just come to you. I got another video that I realized that I needed because it just felt like it was a message for me. You just know it's a message for you. This video, and this one goes back to this specific person. Um, the videos are like, oh, you know how to make someone fall in love with you? Say their name. That's it. After every sentence or before the sentence, say their name. That's it. It's a woman just sharing her thoughts on how to attract the woman. But it resonated, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I tend to do. That's what I tend to do, and I realized like, am I doing it wrong or am I doing it right? Like I had asked myself like, I wonder if that's a thing, because I love saying her name. I love yelling it, like hey, I say her name, and so that kind of like just gave me confirmation. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's cool, like it's cool to do that, and yeah, that's how things come to you. Yeah, they're either non-physical ideas or they're physical ideas that you or physical things that come to you, and that's the bridge of incidences. Okay, and then you accomplish it. Let me share a manifestation that happened to me like just like almost instantly, and I didn't have to do anything. I like what Rhonda Byrne says, and there's a lot of teachers say this too. You can be locked up in a home or locked in somewhere. You can imagine something so intensely, and then you be that person, you be that state of consciousness, it'll come to you. So I was hungry one day, and I was about to do a YouTube video for you guys, for you, and I was like, I'm hungry, so I imagined myself eating tacos. Like I'm gonna manifest some tacos, because I didn't have any in my house. So I'm like, okay. I started eating some tacos in my imagination in my apartment. And then I'm setting up my tripod and everything, and I hear a knock. I'm like, what the heck? It's my neighbor. He's like, hey man, you want some tacos? I'm like, yeah, I want some tacos. You selling some or what? Because he had a canasta, a basket full of them. I'm like, no, the lady who sells tacos, she gave me a bunch of them. Said, hey, give them out to your neighbors, and if they like them, they can come see me and buy some. I'm like, okay, cool. And I ate some. Almost instant, maybe like 2-3 minutes passed by, maybe five at max, and then I had the tacos. Okay, I get that a lot. I do that a lot. Like small little things I manifest, big things I manifest too. But lately I've been manifesting quickly, quickly, and yeah, yeah. Here's another quick one. Everything is you pushed out. Just gotta focus on the affirmation, or the imaginal act that gets you in that state of being, like being that person already. And when you're being that person is the relief. The feeling is the secret. So when you want something, you're lacking it, right? Like I gave you the example of the shirt. When you don't have the shirt, let's say I don't have a shirt on, but I want a shirt. And I'm like, where's the shirt? Where's the shirt? Where's the shirt? Where's the shirt? I'll never have a shirt. Okay. And then let's say I never had a shirt before, right? And so now let's change the state of being within being. So I start saying, I have a shirt. Oh, I feel good that I have a shirt. I even felt relief. Although I'm playing around with these statements, I'm feeling them. And I said I have a shirt. I'm like, okay, cool, cool. I felt relief. I have it. That's God. That's knowing. That's certainty. And so, in this example, hypothetically, I don't have a shirt on, but because I'm saying that I have one in consciousness and feeling it that I have it in consciousness, because feeling is not physical either. You can feel it throughout your body though. It'll manifest. Okay. Well, okay. But going back to the kind of a big thing that I manifested was getting office. So I'm a salesperson. I have a job as a salesperson right now, which I'm grateful for, and I enjoy doing. I was at on the sales floor, which is called the boiler room in some places. And it's kind of loud, and so one day I had some coworkers who do the paperwork and things like that. They're in their office, they're laughing, like, and they're laughing all day long. This day they were laughing all day long, and I said, I want, I would like to work in peace, you know. And so one day I made an affirmation. I have a list of ask affirmations, so I made an ask affirmation specifically, and I said, how do I feel now that I have my own office where I can work in silence and in peace? I didn't know where it was gonna be. Maybe it could have been I went to a different company, or I started just doing coaching, law of attraction coaching, and things like that. And so um, I got my own office now. Who knew how it was gonna happen, but I didn't really imagine it. The only thing I would see, I would riff off my affirmation when I would pass by the offices where the senior salespeople were at. When I'll pass by their offices, I would ask myself, how do I feel now that I have an office too, and feel it, feel the feeling, and just go on about my day. Just kind of like not forget it or let it go. Just go on about my day. Okay, that's letting it go. Just go on about your day, and then things will start happening. You start getting those hunches like, oh, I should do this, or it's just gonna manifest. So one of the salespeople left the company out of nowhere. That she just left, like bang, was gone. I'm like, what the? I came back from lunch and she was gone. Like all her stuff was gone. And I said, okay. I'm like, I've been manifesting an office. I'm gonna ask the manager if I can get the office and I can work next to my coworker who I get along with, um, and who I get along with very well because I get along with everybody, and so I get along with her very well. Others may not get along with me, like they won't talk to me or give me like weird looks, but to me, you're cool. You know, I don't need to hate you. You don't need to talk to me like me or anything like that. It doesn't matter to me. What matters is right here. You know, I recognize you. I recognize you have your own thoughts and feelings, and that's cool. You can always change somebody. That's what specific manifesting specific people is. But when you're self validated, you don't really, you don't want. It doesn't matter. It's just people passing by. Okay, it's ephemeral. People are ephemeral unless you want them in your life, so you just manifest them. And it's going back to the desire. You are lacking that true love, and that person can bring you that love, give you that experience, and so that's why you're manifesting that specific person because you're lacking it, lacking that intimacy. So what you do is you assume the intimacy in being, I'm already intimate with this person. Okay, going back to the quote that we started with, your desire is the solution to your problem. Again, your desire is the solution to your problem. Again, quote, your desire is the solution to your problem, end quote. Okay, and this quote right here is going to really get you understanding of what this is talking about. Okay, quote, your inner acceptance must become an intense, unalterable conviction which transcends both reason and intellect, renouncing entirely any belief in the reality of the externalization, except as a reflection of an inner state of consciousness. And quote again, quote, your inner acceptance must become an intense, unalterable conviction which transcends both reason and intellect, renouncing entirely any belief in the reality of the externalization, except as a reflection of an inner state of consciousness. Okay. That means that everything outside of you is just your acceptance of a state of consciousness, a state of being. Okay? A state of being. All right. Your desire is the solution to your problem. Okay. Your desire is your solution to your problem. Because your problem, when you desire a specific person, right, for love, right, or sex, or what have you, which is basically going back to love, and affection. Being, uh, what does affection mean? Affection means to be liked, okay, to show intimacy, okay. So when you desire the affection of another person is because you don't have affection, okay. You don't have it. That's your problem. Your problem is not having affection, okay. So you desire it. You desire affection. The desire is the solution. So just assume you have affection. You assume that you have the love for that person. How do I feel now that I'm with this specific person? And then, or feel it, and you can also run an imaginal scene, an act. Take the interaction. Take the interaction that you would take outside physically if you already had that person. Same with money. Okay, we desire money is because your problem is not having enough money. Okay, so now assume the desire of the wish fulfilled. If you're not healthy, if you're injured or sick, that's your problem. You desire health. You desire to be healthy. You desire to be sick. Like, oh, I wish I was healthy. I wish I could just breathe. Because when I used to get sick, I would want to breathe well because my nose would be like stuffy, and I can't breathe. Like, man, I can't breathe. I wish I could breathe well. So the solution, your desire is the solution. Breathe well. Breathe well. How do you feel now that you breathe well? How do you feel now that you breathe well? Oh, relax or whatever, right? And imagine yourself, you're breathing well. Maybe you're running. You're running up a hill and you're like, yes, I'm breathing well. What's another one? That's health, love, money, happiness, maybe. Be happy. When you're depressed, like, oh, I wish I was happy. I was just like so happy. I wish I could be happy. How do I feel now that I'm happy? Right? See yourself in imagination being happy. What would you see if you were happy? Smiling, right? Laughing. See yourself laughing. I saw myself laughing right now. My imagination. See, just talking creates an image. Your desire is a solution. Whoa, that felt good because it resonated. Your desire is the solution. Your desire is the solution. Your desire is the solution. What do you desire? A specific person, money, car? You know? For me, my Challenger, when I would ask myself how do I feel now that I own a black wide body Dodge Challenger, I felt like cool. I feel like yeah, I'm confident. Like I feel cool. I don't know why my voice got super high pitch right now, but I felt cool. I felt confident. And now there's another car that I'm manifesting, and that one I feel sexy. So just adopting feeling sexy now. How do I feel now that I'm sexy as fuck? Regular relief, regular. I've created a scene where I'm driving it up a certain hill. It's gonna manifest. I'm already being it, and so being that inner state, of consciousness and the interaction is what's gonna create the physical circumstance. Everything outside of you is a result of your physical circumstance. I have a guitar over there. I used to pretend I was playing a guitar in my car while I'm listening to corridos and banda, which is Spanish music, Mexican Spanish music. Now I have one. Like no duh. I think yesterday I was dancing with the baddie right here because I was imagining in my mind dancing with the baddie. All this stuff happens. You just gotta start reflecting and thinking. After this, I'm gonna reflect on my desires. Just make sure I still really want them. Like, what do I want? And then start filling them. Um, yeah, I hope you like this one. This one was pretty cool. I enjoyed talking about it. Um, and had a lot of epiphanies. So I hope you got a lot of epiphanies too. And yeah, happy manifesting. If you want to know more about manifesting, click the description. I have books I write on Medium almost every day. I also have books on self love, self validation, getting in shape, getting ripped, building muscle. Uh, and yeah, check them out. It's in the author's link. If you want me to coach you, I also have that option for you. I'll text you. It says there just to set up a call, but we won't talk. We'll just send you a text, and then I'll send you the program, and yeah, we'll get started. I hope you like this one. Until next time, I love you. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so the algorithm can give you my videos so people can experience these videos too. Peace.